Hello, welcome to the Villages, Florida. My name is David. I'm a realtor with Florida Realty Investments, and I can be reached at DavidisinFlorida@gmail.com. Two things. The first is to remind you to check today's date. We produce this show every Monday. Today is the 27th of June, 2022. Make sure that you're watching the most recent information. The second thing I would alert you to is that all of this information is from the multiple listing service. It does not include information from the village's own internal VLS system, which has slightly more listings on offer than the MLS. So let's get started. As always, the first thing we look at is listings. These are all listings in the MLS, and you can see that over the last 3 months, the number of listings has almost doubled from 108 at the beginning of April to 204 as of today, which is certainly a high for the recent past. The active listings in the MLS currently range in price from 169,000 to 1,775,000. We can take a look at this breakdown, which shows us in which price segments the listings appear, and we can see that once again the $300,000 to $500,000 price range comprises the majority of the listings here in the villages. Just to explain how to read this table, if we look at the $300,000 to $400,000 price range, this week there are 65 listings. Last week there were 65. The week prior to that, 54, and then 54, 51, 47, and 42. You can see that very few listings are appearing over $1 million in price. Similarly, if we take a look at the $400,000 to $500,000 price range, we can see that this week there are 56 properties. Last week, 56. The week prior to that, 51. Week prior to that, 45, etc. Just to remind you, you can always pause this video at any time if you want to examine information in more detail. This map shows us where in the villages these listings are located. Next, we'll take a look at new listings, and for the previous 7 days, the new listings range in price from $169,000 to almost $1.7 million. New listings have remained pretty steady at around 30 to 35 new listings every 7 days. But obviously, with the number of active listings increasing, the properties are just not selling as quickly as they used to. We can take a look at the price segments in which these new listings appear. You can see that this week there are 8 new listings in the $300,000 to $400,000 price range. Last week there were 15, the week prior 9, week prior 12, week prior 16, the week prior 10. This map shows us where in the villages these new listings are located. The next thing we're going to take a look at is the listings price per square foot. This is all listings currently on the multiple listing service in the villages. You can see that we have definitely moved below $300 a square foot for all listings, where for the previous 3 months it appeared as if we were bumping up over 300. So the market has softened, but it doesn't seem necessarily to be softening further from here. I think we're looking at sellers still hopeful and not really willing to reduce their listing prices substantially yet. If we take a look at this graphic, we can see what percentage of homes have had their price reduced from an original listing price. At the beginning of the month, it was 42%. We're getting close to 50% of all listings in the villages now having been reduced below their original listing prices. Next, we turn our attention to houses that have sold. This table shows you how many properties sold over the previous 7 days, and for the 7 days ending today, the 27th of June, 24 properties have sold, which is about half of what it was a month ago. So that while there are seasonal factors to consider, it certainly seems as if activity is slowing down here. If we examine this table, we can see where the sales activity has taken place. Over the last 7 days, there have been 12 homes that sold for between $300,000 and $400,000. Previous 7-day period saw 15. Prior to that, 6, 13, 21, etc. Activity is definitely slowing down, and if you take a look outside of the most active price segment, the $300,000 to $500,000 price range, you can see that activity has really almost ground to a halt. Next, we'll turn our attention to the price realized on properties that have sold, which is how many dollars per square foot they've been able to receive. We're back down to $254 a square foot for all properties that sold over the last 7 days. A noticeable decline from the $281 we saw 2 weeks ago, and certainly it appears as if prices are gradually decreasing, at least on a price per square foot basis. And the last data point we're going to look at is time on the market. This graph shows us how many days all of the listings have been on the market, and currently the average is 34 days, which is up noticeably from 3 months ago. So that concludes this week's look at the real estate market here in the Villages. Once again, my name is David. I can be reached at davidisinflorida@gmail.com. If you have any questions on real estate in the Villages or around the Villages, I will answer it for you, or if I don't have an answer, I will find the answer for you. David is in Florida. Hope to hear from you.